All right, so I did a thing, a really, really questionable thing. I read 42 books about Bitcoin. Yeah, 42. And let me tell you, it was a journey. Mostly painful, sometimes kind of mind-blowing. But the point is, I did it so you never, ever have to.
Because, let's be honest, you've been there, right? You're at a party, someone brings up Bitcoin, and you just nod. You nod, and you smile, while inside your brain is just screaming, "What is this magic internet money for nerds?" Yeah, I was so tired of faking it.
And I gotta tell you, most of those books were just awful, like truly painful to get through. But a few of them, whoa, they completely rewired how I see, well, everything. Money, the world, the whole shebang. So, I'm gonna save you a couple $100 and maybe a minor existential crisis. Here's what you actually need to know. Okay, first things first. Before you can even begin to wrap your head around Bitcoin, you gotta understand the problem it's supposed to fix. And that problem, well, it's sitting right there in your wallet.
I mean, you felt this, haven't you? Why is everything so ridiculously expensive all of a sudden? Your house, your health insurance, gas. Heck, that latte you bought this morning probably cost what, $7? It feels like it's all just spiraling completely out of control. And we're always told it's a million different things, right? Oh, it's corporate greed, it's a housing shortage. But what if it's all connected?
So here's the kicker, the big aha moment from all those books. What if it's not that prices are going up? What if the value of your dollar is going down? And what if, and this is the really crazy part, what if it's happening on purpose?
Okay, just look at this number for a second. $38 trillion. That's the US national debt. It's a number so big, it's basically a joke. It doesn't even feel real. And get this, it's growing by another $1 trillion every 90 days or so.
Now, you always hear people say, just tax the rich, right? Okay, let's do that. Let's say we took every single penny from both Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. You know how long you could fund the US government with that? A whopping 38 days. So yeah, that's not going to work.
So this is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? When a number gets that big, when it's literally unpayable, what do you do? Well, the answer is actually brutally simple.
You just print more money, a lot more. You essentially water down every single dollar that's already out there to make your old debt cheaper. It's the only trick left in the bag. And all that inflation we've been feeling, that was just the warm-up act.
And this is where Bitcoin finally enters the story. Forget all the complicated tech stuff for just a minute. At its absolute core, Bitcoin is just an answer to that one huge problem. It's a system where no one, not a politician, not a banker, nobody, can ever just push a button and create more out of thin air. Okay. I can practically hear you thinking it. Fine, but it's not real. It's just code on a computer. How can it be worth anything? Trust me, I get it. That was my biggest hang-up for years. So let's actually tackle that head on. This one question from a book just completely blew my mind. It just shatters that whole idea of intrinsic value. See, nothing has value by itself. Value is all about context. It's about what people find useful right here, right now. A bottle of water can be worthless or it can be priceless.
So, what makes something good money? Well, throughout history, it's always had a few key properties. It's got to be divisible, durable, easy to carry around, and so on. And if you look here, gold, the US dollar, and Bitcoin, they all check most of the boxes. But the dollar fails, and fails spectacularly on the most important one of all, scarcity. It can be printed forever.
And if you're still stuck on the whole you can't touch it thing, think about this. Is Google.com real? You can't hold it in your hand. It's just an address. It's a piece of virtual real estate, and it's worth billions and billions of dollars. Bitcoin is just digital property. You don't need to physically touch something for it to be scarce and for you to truly own it. All right, next up, we've got the big-brained economist argument. But wait, if you can't print more money, prices will go down. That's called deflation, and everyone will just hoard their money and the economy will grind to a halt in a death spiral. Sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? Well, let's look at an area where we already live with constant, massive deflation, technology. Think about TVs. In 1990, a big TV would set you back $3,000. Today, you can get a TV that's 1,000,000 times better for like $300. That's deflation in action. No, Of course you didn't. You bought a TV when you needed a TV. The whole idea that falling prices will just stop all economic activity is frankly a total myth. You still have to live your life. So why is there this big, scary story about deflation? Well, who benefits from inflation? Massive debtors. And who's the biggest debtor on the planet? The government. If you owe $38 trillion, you desperately need the value of each dollar to go down over time. It's your only escape hatch. Bitcoin just flips that entire script. It actually rewards you for saving.
So, what does all this actually mean for you, for a normal person? It means changing your entire relationship with the financial system. It means you no longer have to beg for permission to use your own money. It means no more hold music.
Look, in the old system, you were forced to trust other people. Your money sits in a bank, and if something goes wrong, you're on the phone with Derek from customer service, just praying he can help you. With Bitcoin, you actually own your money. You become your own bank. Now, that's a huge responsibility, but it's also a huge shift in power. Now, this doesn't mean banks are all going to disappear tomorrow. Of course not. People will still want loans and mortgages and all that stuff. But the crucial difference is that using them becomes optional, not mandatory. The whole power dynamic changes when you finally have a choice.
And this all leads to the final, and honestly, the most important lesson I got from those 42 books. Learning about Bitcoin is never really just about money.
You think you're just learning about some new technology, right? But then, before you know it, you're reading about the fall of the Roman Empire, you're studying the nature of power, you're thinking about time. It just keeps going deeper and deeper. All of it is connected. And that's really where you end up. This isn't about me telling you to go buy something. It's about a new tool for understanding the world we live in. It just forces you to ask bigger questions. And that journey of understanding, well, that's the real payoff.